We'd like to think that every single light we build is perfect. It's certainly our goal. In fact, the vast majority of our lights are still in the field doing exactly what they're supposed to. But even with our high quality, there are going to be occasional problems. We stand behind our products, and if you have an issue, we'll make things right. The problem is we get a lot of returns where the lights are okay and operate as intended. That means wasted time, effort, and money for everyone, all the way down to the end user. So we want to show you some things to check before you file a warranty claim to help determine if it's a warrantable issue or not. Spending just a couple minutes can go a long way toward eliminating that wasted time, effort, and money. So why don't vehicle manufacturers warranty rust and corrosion for a lifetime? Because corrosion is a natural process. It affects pretty much everything exposed to the environment. One of the reasons JW Speaker uses die-cast aluminum housings is because they're resistant to corrosion. Where we can, we use plastic housings that are virtually corrosion-proof. Still, because of things we can't control, like road chemicals, flying debris that breaches the integrity of the finish, and the long-term effects of Mother Nature, corrosion just can't be warranted and is excluded from warranty coverage. If you've got a headlight that doesn't work, one of the easiest things you can do is swap sides and see if the problem follows the light. If it does, it might be a light issue. If the problem doesn't follow the light, or if you can't swap them because both lights have a problem, it's a safe bet it's not the lights, but an issue with the vehicle's electrical system. It just takes a basic voltmeter to make sure you're getting power to the light and that the voltage falls within the operating range listed on the light's spec sheet. For instance, this 12-volt light should work just fine between about 10 and 15 volts. Sometimes we hear, my old lights worked, yours don't. Well, that could be low voltage. An electrical issue with the vehicle will cause a halogen light to dim where LED lights will just flicker or go out. There's also a chance you bought the wrong light. Make sure the vehicle's electrical system is within the voltage range of the new light. A less common problem is reverse polarity. Some older vehicles, especially British vehicles, will use a positive ground. It doesn't matter for an incandescent bulb, but an LED circuitry needs a negative ground. If you've got a light that flickers, there could be a few problems. One is voltage that's right on the edge of that operating range. Another could be a bad ground or an intermittent short. If you've got a Jeep, flickering could have to do with the version of the lights you're using. Our website has fitment information for both the headlights and the fogs, so you can easily overcome the issues associated with pulse width modulation. So you've done the vehicle testing and you still think the light doesn't work. Well, as long as you pulled it to return it, do one final test before you walk out the door, a bench test. It's the first and simplest test we perform when the light's returned. And a surprising number of lights that supposedly don't work actually do work when we bench test them. I get it. A light doesn't turn on, so you blame the light. But a bench test will give you a real clear indication of whether it's the light or another factor causing the problem. It only takes a second. Just run power straight to the light from a power supply other than the vehicle's electrical system. It can even be wired right to the vehicle's battery as long as you bypass everything else and the battery's fully charged. We'd hate to see you go to the trouble of sending in a working light when the problem is really somewhere else. If your light fails your bench test, there's still something else to consider: power surges. We build in protection from electrical spikes and short-term overvoltages, but we've seen severe overloads that just fry the circuitry. That's obviously something we can't control and would be outside the coverage of your warranty. It's important you know about condensation and LEDs. If you have water pooling on the inside of your light, well, you've got a leak. But if your light looks something like this, don't automatically assume you've got a problem. You never notice condensation in halogen bulbs. The same heat that causes their shortened life also evaporates any moisture pretty quickly. But LEDs don't get as hot. So when conditions are right, you might see condensation. And that's not just our lights, that's any LED light. And the condensation won't hurt anything.
Fog on your windows doesn't ruin your interior, right? Run your lights for a while or wait for the weather to change and the condensation will evaporate.
So if it looks like this, you're fine. If it looks like this, well, you got a leak. Okay, so you've gone through the initial check and you're pretty sure you need to make a claim. Now you need to work with whoever sold you the lamp to get it back to JW Speaker for analysis. If you're an end customer, work with your dealer. If you have a direct account, fill out a warranty claim online. If you're a seller and don't have a direct account, get the light back to your distributor. Any other avenue is just going to slow down the process. Whichever path you take, make sure you provide as much information as possible. Instead of just claiming the light doesn't work, be more specific. Give us as many details as you can so we can properly diagnose the problem and verify your claim. How and where was it installed? Did it ever work? Is it an intermittent problem? Stuff like that. And if you've got a water issue, put your light into a plastic bag and seal it up so the problem doesn't evaporate before it gets back to our lab. With detailed information, we can make an informed decision. And if there is a warrantable issue, we'll stand behind our light 100%. That's the kind of commitment you get from the best lighting company in the world.